Part 342. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3411. God is kidding me. When did the thief become so good? No. There is a problem here. Is this to give me hope, and then give me despair? Keel Whale's ignorant eyes glanced around, and suddenly saw that Chu Sisi, who was going through the tribulation with him at the same time, was also in this state. Turning his head again, he saw the Lord nodding silently. Is it my Lord? The body of the keel whale trembled slightly, and it gradually became swaying at this moment. Thoughts gathered here, and the brilliance in the eyes grew more and more. That feeling of excitement cannot be simply expressed in a few words. Fortunately, there is still the Lord. Otherwise this life will really be completely cold. Keel Whale gritted his teeth, feeling inexplicably grateful. At the same time, I couldn't help but feel infinite amazement in my heart. My Lord, really invincible. Even this thunder can be controlled. This is not something that ordinary people can do. The confidence is there, and the posture is already oppressed in an instant. The audience fell into a brief silence. What followed was shock and horror that could not be concealed. How did it become like this, how did these dozens of Brontosaurus run back? Playing. Did you feel lonely? Didn't you say that the third thunder is an existence beyond the demigod level? Thought I was going to witness a wave of history, and this is it now. It's nothing. The monster and the students of Guangming Academy have survived the Holy Thunder disaster. They have all been promoted to the Holy Realm. Such a young saint, this is really going against the sky. Explode. Explode directly. This wave of opportunities belongs to the Guangming Academy. No one can take it away. The Guangming Academy is awesome. Hey, I won't talk about the rest, this wave I am really convinced. If you don't accept it, you can't do it, this is the full operation of the boss. The future is boundless. Envy, admiration. There are all kinds of voices. The surrounding area has gradually become very complicated, and the situation has a strong sense of oppression invisibly. After feeling it for a while, I somehow want to go deep into it to investigate carefully. That sense of anticipation is very appropriate. Everyone was stunned. Stepping forward at this moment, the body trembles slightly. I want to get closer and take a closer look at what the people and monsters who have survived such a heaven-defying sage's lightning calamity look like. Among the crowd, there were some malicious glances. Dark School. Wanggu, deputy head of the Dark Academy, squinted his eyes, feeling cold on the spot. At this moment, sharp light swept across the surroundings, and his expression slowly became chilling. There are two more promising saints in the Bright Academy, which is not a good thing for the Dark Academy. Needless to say, this keel whale, it was an extremely powerful beast in ancient times. It will go smoothly after coming out of the real God's cave like this. Now this keel whale has been subdued by Fang Fan from Guangming Academy, and it will definitely be in the future become the enemy of my Dark Academy. There's also that Chu Sisi from Guangming Academy, who seems to be inseparable from that Fang Fan. Call. The root of everything points to that Fang Fan. This son has brought a lot of trouble to our dark school before, and it is even more so now. So, don't underestimate it. Look for a chance and abolish him. Such an arrogance, it must be killed in the cradle. Otherwise, 10,000 years from now, when he grows up, he will be the enemy of our Dark Academy. Wanggu, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, took a deep breath, and was now thinking of the right time to do it. If this Fang Fan was an ordinary cultivator, he would be killed if he was killed instantly. But judging from the attitude of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy, it is obvious that he is extremely valued. Forcibly killing, I am afraid that it will be completely blocked. For now, it is still not possible to tear face with Guangming Academy. Of course, if you can kill Fang Fan, it doesn't matter if you tear your face, but the key is that you don't have much confidence. The dead space sent before has not had much effect. Call. At present, these are the points that need the most attention. Generally speaking, there must be no slack in the slightest. Wang Gu narrowed his eyes slightly, his gaze shifted forward. At the exit of the True God Cave Mansion, he seemed to see the students from their dark school coming out of it. Yuanqi Academy. Hateful. It was pretended by them again. That keel whale is Fang Fan's battle pet, and that Chu Sisi is also Fang Fan's woman, and Fang Fan is Tai Shiji's apprentice. Humph. This time Tai Shiji will definitely pretend to be in front of me. Damn it! Damn it all! Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, roared inwardly with jealousy. Black and White Academy. Uniquely blessed. Surprisingly, they have survived the Holy Thunder Tribulation. There must be tricks in this. Otherwise, it's impossible to explain why those dozens of Thunder Dragons retreated before they started attacking. Is there something special about them? Have some artifacts on your body? Hiss. Yes. There must be a treasure. It's still a treasure that can control the thunder. Hee hee. These treasures, bring them to me. It should all belong to the dean. There was a hint of greed in the eyes of Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy. Thinking to myself, the gleam in her eyes grew more and more. Ideas are exploding in full force. So comfortable. When it's time to take off, don't stop. Low-level saints. Successfully promoted to Saint Venerable Realm. Fang Fan looked up at Keel Whalehead and Chu Sisi, then nodded silently. All the efforts were not in vain. They have been promoted, why don't they come down? Is it fun to hang on it? Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and then complained to the side. Hanging, of course it's not fun. But it would be fun if you continue to be promoted. There is also a steady stream of pure energy pouring into their bodies. Their cultivation is still improving. This, perhaps, they can break through the low-level Saint Venerable Realm at once. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy's complexion gradually became flushed. While talking, he couldn't help but clenched his hands tightly. Various thoughts gathered in his mind, and immediately, his mentality took off. This feeling is so exciting. Break low-level saints all at once. Is it possible? This is not in line with common sense. Gisha opened his mouth, looking a little confused. Tisk. Brother Gisha, you don't understand this, but anyone who has a relationship with Brother Fang Fan cannot be treated with common sense. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3412. Zhuo Qiuyao raised his eyebrows, and suddenly remembered something. If I remember correctly, Miss Li Yulai was only in the quasi-sacred realm when she first entered the Guangming Academy. Even if she encountered a thunder disaster in the sanctuary, she would normally be promoted to a 1-star sanctuary. But when Miss Li Yulai successfully crossed the catastrophe, she was directly promoted from the pinnacle quasi-sage to the 5-star sanctuary. And those pets of Brother Fang Fan, who spent the sanctuary thunder tribulation in front of Guangming Academy, were promoted from the peak quasi-sacred realm to the 6-star sanctuary realm at one time. Instances like this abound. Brother Fang Fan, it's so terrifying. While talking, Zhuo Qiuyao looked at Fang Fan excitedly. Everyone around also focused their attention on Fang Fan. Fang Fan shrugged, with a calm face. Nothing. Mentally, hold on. For the rest, it's good to collapse a little. Intermediate Saint. I've been promoted to a mid-level Saint. Bai Piao glanced at the sky, then shouted excitedly. Kishizuoki Yao saw it, and couldn't help showing envy on his face. This feeling of being promoted is so cool. In the distance, Sun Han, the president of Tiandao Club of Guangming Academy, walked over silently, and sighed silently when he saw Chu Ceci hovering high in the sky. At the beginning, he and Chu Ceci were by Fang Fan's side. At that time, Chu Ceci chose to fight Fang Fan to the end, but he chose to quit that team because of some voices from the Tiandao society. What now? Everyone has already been promoted to the middle-level saint, but he is still standing still. One choice, two fates. Student Fang Fan's chariot, I missed it. Unfortunately, regrettable. But everything makes sense. There are so many good things waiting for me. If you want to open up, just. At least compared to those who are against Fang Fan, I am very lucky. Those people are in a precarious state at the moment. Sun Han, the president of the Tiandao Club of Guangming Academy, took a deep breath, thinking to himself, and the brilliance in his eyes gathered in all directions. Willpower gradually became more relevant. After Chu Ceci and Keel Whale Hate were promoted to the middle-level saints, the last pure energy allowed them to completely stabilize this realm. But it didn't continue to be promoted. After stabilizing in the middle-level holy state, the energy gradually dissipated. Keel Whale Hit and Chu Ceci fell from the sky. Master! Thank you, Lord, for your kindness in nurturing and saving me. Height's life was brought back by the Lord from before the gate of hell. Boom! Bang bang bang! Keel Whale Height keeps touching his head to the ground, and also wants to imitate human postures to express his gratitude and loyalty in his heart. It's okay, if you are not strong enough to block the two thunders in front, then I can't help you. All of this basically depends on your combat power. I'm just an assistant. Fang Fan shrugged, then smiled. If you don't save your pet, who will come to save him? It is very worthwhile to exchange 1,000,000 top-grade star cores for a battle pet of a middle-level saint. A Saint Venerable Thunder Tribulation exemption card, worth millions of high-grade star cores. Chu Ceci on the side seemed to be a little evasive at the moment. Thank you. While Chu Ceci was talking, her face suddenly turned red. She suddenly remembered the words she said when she was crossing the catastrophe in the sky. At that time, she felt that she was bound to die, so she said all the messy things in her heart. He even said to Fang Fan, I want to give you a litter of children. In the face of life and death, there is no sense of embarrassment. But now that she came back to life and faced Fang Fan again, she was instantly embarrassed. Now, how should I put it? Fine. Just remember to pay. Fang Fan nodded, and then said seriously. Pay money. What money? Chu Ceci froze for a moment, with a look of astonishment on her face. It was different from what she had expected. What was the inexplicable sense of strangeness? Did you miss something? Well, I spent millions of high-grade star cores in order to let you survive this holy thunder disaster, so shouldn't I be reimbursed? I don't try to make money, at least I can't make me lose money. Fang Fan shrugged, and then spoke out confidently. From every point of view, this is indeed the case. Chu Ceci. Millions of high-grade star cores. You sell me out. Anyway, I can't afford it. How about, sell myself to you to repay the debt? Chu Ceci's courage gradually became stronger. While talking, she strode over, her eyebrows raised, and the brilliance in her eyes flickered again and again. The expressions and gestures are particularly vivid. In a few words, it is the most sincere state. Hey! Is this starting to be undisguised? It seems that I really have to hurry up and have a litter of children. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and then complained from the side. When talking about a litter of children, Chu Ceci couldn't help but blush. This is really embarrassing. At that time, I didn't know what to think at the time, so I said this stupidly. Now it's completely embarrassing to pick your feet. The eyeballs can't wait to turn countless times. You talk nonsense. Chu Ceci gritted her silver teeth and glared at Bai Biao, her chest couldn't help heaving up and down. Why? Is this the beginning of suppression? You and Fang Fan are really a couple. This temperament is exactly the same. It's not a big deal, it has begun to evolve to this point. If this is the case, why don't you beat me to death? The corner of Bai Biao's mouth twitched, thinking to himself, the desire to complain seemed particularly strong. Anyway, this feeling is very real. Speaking of which, I was the one who carried the pain to help you carry the second thunder. Cough. According to Fang Fan's previous promise, your god bone is already mine. This matter has to be confirmed. I've worked so hard, I can't let me have nothing. That's what Bai Biao was thinking about in his heart. You promised for me. Chu Ceci tilted her head to look at Fang Fan, with a sly smile on her lips. The situation was urgent. Well, it's okay if you don't want to, anyway, Bai Biao can't beat you now, just resign. Fang Fan waved his hand and said calmly. Bai Biao. Play. Is there such a thing? Can't you be a little role model? That's it? It caught me off guard. Talking counts? I'm so. Bai Biao took a deep breath, rolled up his sleeves and was about to fight. Don't bring such a bully. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3413. What you promised for me is what I promised. You have the qualifications. Chu Ceci rolled her eyes, and then suddenly said the sentence. Between the words, it seems quite delicate. Feelings gradually became more appropriate. After saying this, the surrounding atmosphere suddenly became ambiguous. There is nothing wrong with this language, but the more you listen to it, the more wrong it becomes. Inexplicably, there is a feeling of being shown a face. Is this no cover-up? Is this the public start show? Cousin. It's great that you're fine. Just now, I was worried to death. Concubine Xiang's eyes are still a little swollen at the moment, she walks over while talking, her eyes can't help but become erratic, then she exhales a breath of turbid air, and her eyes gradually lift up. Hee. What can I do? Your husband is here. He is very powerful. When Chu Ceci said this, her eyes seemed a little dodgy. It always felt weird to let her compete with her cousin for a man. That taste is not very pleasant. Cousin, you are going to give birth to him, isn't this guy also your husband? Concubine Xiang smiled calmly, and immediately agreed. The artistic sense of this speech came out in an instant. The communication with each other is also quite profound. There are also some different feelings between each other. Fang Fan really couldn't bear to watch this scene. At this moment, the location of the exit of the True God Cave Mansion. Ha! Ha ha ha! I'm out. I'm out alive. Master Ben. Master Ben can do it again. You are all scumbags. You are all scumbags. No one can harm this young master. Fang Fan. Where is Fang Fan? Die. Die. Fang Fan. You have such a vicious heart. You took away all the treasures in our hands. You also released so many poor and strange beasts to kill us all. Shameless you. Fang Fan. I can't stand against you. Ah. At the position of the exit, a blood-stained young man stepped out at this moment. As he was talking, he immediately let out a series of astonishing roars. Everyone's eyes flocked over, and the expressions on their faces looked a little weird. Could it be that this guy lost his mind and went crazy? It's He, the blood descendant of the master of the dark school, who can't. How are you talking like crazy, with so much blood on your body? What the hell happened? Tisk, God knows. Anyway, it's very weird. This is, very interesting. Hey. Doesn't your scalp feel numb just looking at it? Could it be that something dirty was encountered in the True God Cave mansion, and it was disabled? Perhaps, is this possible? Oh. We don't care. It's kind of silly. However, there are really not many students from the Dark Academy who came out of the True God Cave. There are not many students in Yuanqi Academy. The surrounding discussions couldn't help but increase, and this black helpless has become a brand new focus. At this moment, everyone's eyes are focused here, and their expressions are particularly complicated. How did you become such a virtue? Is there any gain in the True God Cave mansion? Wanggu, deputy head of the Dark Academy, looked at Heifu in front of him, and his face looked a little ugly. Shame. Disgraceful and lost at home. In front of so many people, I feel my face is burning for no reason. What are these things? Reward. There are many harvests, there are many. Heifu couldn't grit his teeth, and then said bitterly. Oh. What's the gain? Tell me quickly. Wanggu's eyes lit up, and he seemed quite looking forward to it. Image or something, those are all empty-headed things, it doesn't matter, but the harvest is real. The harvest was taken away by Fang Fan. Fang Emo. This is Fang Emo. It's the big devil. He kept stealing the treasures in my hands, and also took away all our star cores. He even took away all the weapons on my body. Correct. I also got the artifact and bone in the Disaster God's underground palace, but they were all taken away by Fang Fan. He took it away with despicable means. Fang Fan took away all the treasures that I worked so hard to obtain in the Disaster God's underground palace. I'm so uncomfortable. Deputy Palace Master. You must uphold justice for me. You must take back my treasure. Especially artifacts and divine bones. It's mine. It's all mine. He couldn't lick his lips. While talking, his eyes gradually turned blood red, and his breathing gradually became much faster. At this moment, the sense of greed in my heart surged up in an all-round way. So real. Fang Fan, who was standing not far away, felt a little funny when he heard this. This sand sculpture. Can you sculpt a little more? Artifact. Divine bone? Does this have anything to do with you having a hammer? Yu Humming didn't even break through the second floor of the Calamity God's underground palace, so you have the nerve to say that the artifact and bone are all yours? Isn't this brain circuit a little too strange? He was not the only one who was around the Disaster God's underground palace at that time. There are also practitioners from many schools and colleges there. At this moment, each of them looked at each other, and then began to discuss. I'm CAO. This operation is fine. Just say hello. Is this the king with a strong mouth? Admire. I really admire. Where did this F***ing face come from? He actually said such shameless words. The announcement of the Disaster God's underground palace was clear at that time. It was obtained by a master Fang Fan who broke through the level. What kind of artifact is it? Does it have anything to do with his black hair? I'm dying of laughter, this can touch porcelain. What about the face? Is this face really gone? At that time, this black man could not want to seize these treasures from Fang Fan, but it was a pity that he failed, and that's it? It's so interesting. I admit I actually laughed. The eyes of the masses are discerning. What happened at that time, in fact, everyone knew it in their hearts, but they were too lazy to say more. It can only be said that people are shameless and invincible. Wang, deputy head of the Dark Academy, heard these discussions around him, and could probably imagine what the scene was like at that time. There is a high probability that the trash in front of him wanted to rob Fang Fan's treasure, but Fang Fan cleaned it up in the end, and then he wanted to find fault with him when he came out. I thought this trash would give the Dark Academy some face, but now it's better, it's even more embarrassing. It's just that now he, Wang, as the deputy master of the Dark Academy, really can't slap himself in the face. Even if he couldn't be a piece of shit, he still has to hold it. This is related to the face of the Dark Academy. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shuyu. Chapter 3414. What happened? Cough. Make it clear. My dark school is not a soft persimmon, nor is it something that others can pinch as they want. In this matter, it is absolutely impossible to deal with it at will. Wang, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, was almost daring to speak. Shame. Disgraceful and lost at home. Now it feels like this face is swollen. That feeling, especially the numbness of the scalp. Feel it a little bit, and the thoughts are churning all over the area. What the hell, playing with a hammer? How embarrassing. Deputy Palace Master. It was Fang Fan who robbed me of my divine weapon. My divine bone. Also took all the star cores on my body. He's a robber. A bandit like this, if you don't hurry to bring him to justice, what are you waiting for? Go straight up and beat him to death. Deputy Palace Master. Then take all my treasures back. He couldn't help but licked his lips, and while talking, his breathing became extremely rapid. Excited to the extreme at the moment. The size around him increased again. Face is a good thing, but some people really don't have it. Fang Fan. Hand over the artifact. Hand over the bone. Maybe your life will be spared. Although Wang, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, felt ashamed at the moment, but at the same time, felt a bit of greed. Artifact. Divine bone. These are all first-class good things. For the sake of the divine artifact, the fake may not be able to become real. This road, if you can go on smoothly. If all goes well, maybe everything can really come true. Thinking about this, the gleam in his eyes grew more and more. Putting his hands together in front of him, he subconsciously licked his lips. In any case, this artifact, the divine bone, cannot fall into the hands of the Bright Academy, otherwise it will be an invisible bomb to their Dark Academy. Grass. Would you like to be more aggressive? What the hell are you also the Deputy Palace Master of the Dark Academy, don't you want this face at all? Don't talk about whether or not this artifact exists, even if my apprentice has obtained this artifact, what does it have to do with you? Anyone who has eyes knows that this shit was my apprentice's harvest. You failed to snatch the trash from the dark school, but you were taught a lesson. Now you want to come and shout with empty teeth. What are you? Who wants to deal with you? You feel reasonable when you have a long mouth. I don't even piss and take pictures of myself, it's so humming disgusting. If you want the treasure, get it yourself. Red mouth and white teeth want to snatch it, get out. If anyone dares to do harm to my apprentice today, my Uncle G will destroy him even if he risks his life. Hee. I don't care what kind of demigod you are. I killed labor and management directly hugged you and blew yourself up. Even if you are a true god, you will go to hell with me. Uncle G's fiery temper immediately came up, and while speaking, Ling Lai's eyes swept across the surroundings, and then a look of disdain appeared on his face. This time the posture is revealed, and in a few words, it is the most surging appearance. Direct oppression, direct crushing, direct impact. What's so scary? There may still be a big gap between the former Grand Uncle G and the demigod powerhouse, but now the Grand Uncle G has been promoted from the high-level saint realm to the absolute peak saint realm. When he was still a high-level saint, he dared to challenge the demigod, and successfully escaped from the hand of the demigod. Now that he has been promoted to the supreme saint venerable realm, if he really explodes the combat power of the whole body, he may not be without the power to fight. This posture is surging to the extreme. Time for battle to explode. There is nothing anyone can do. A strong man should possess the infinite explosive power of a strong man. Wanggu, deputy head of the Dark Academy, suddenly turned ugly. The Grand Uncle G in front of him is a lunatic. There's really nothing he can't do. If it really drives him crazy, it is very likely that he will rush forward and explode himself. Looking at the situation is a bit awkward. Everyone, why do you bother? Peace brings money. It's just a little conflict between the students, why is it so noisy? No need to do this to this extent. Everyone should calm down. In this matter, it really seems a bit nonsensical. Hee. Aren't you thinking too much? The things about the students are inherently more complicated. And it's the conflict they caused in the True God Cave Mansion. We couldn't see what happened at that time. So there must be some misunderstandings. Since there is a misunderstanding, just explain the misunderstanding clearly. There's no need to go to war. Cough. If there is a divine tool or bone, it is also a product of the True God Cave. Everyone who sees has a share. It's all negotiable. Su Qin, deputy head of Yuanqi Academy, licked his lips and rushed over. While talking, he couldn't help rubbing his lips, and the sharp light in his eyes flickered all over. At this moment, the more I think about it, the more excited I get, the more I think about it, the more excited I get. All kinds of feelings, slowly in place. Very real, very clear. Hearing that there are divine weapons and divine bones, among the practitioners present, who can stand firm? Who wouldn't want to seize this artifact, the divine bone? Why is there such a shit-stirrer like you everywhere? What does this have to do with you? Didn't it all be discussed before? The treasures obtained by the cultivators of the universities and colleges belong to themselves. When will another witness come to have a share? Grass. A bunch of dog days of trash. WTF. Everyone looks like a dog. Taishaji cursed directly, and the disdain on his face was beyond words as he spoke. Anyway, I just looked down on it from the beginning to the end, and I feel that this is all rubbish. The useless woods are all gathered together, and they are still playing with hammers. Nothing. The smile on Su Qin's face stopped suddenly. Everyone is a decent person. No matter how unpleasant it is to watch, they basically use alternative methods to trick you. How can you just yell at you like Tai Shuja? And I have to say, when he was swearing, he basically hit the point. From every point of view, it is indeed the case. As for the rest of those who have nothing, nothing. If you can't hold on, everything will stop. The overall situation is also extremely chaotic. The treasure belongs to everyone. Guangming Academy should share it. That's right, you can't be selfish. As one of the 3 universities, Guangming Academy doesn't have this kind of dedication. Bright Academy must set an example. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3415. How to say. Really don't test human nature casually. In the end you will be disappointed, you will be directly disappointed. You'll think what the hell is all this shit? And such rubbish? Let's wait a little longer, shall we? Let's break down a bit, shall we? Moral kidnapping again? The first person who proposed to share the dedication just now was the head of the Black and White Academy, Chen Tianwei. This, can really be said. I have to say that the face is really big enough. Dean Chen Tianwei, the Pixio jade pendant on your chest should be made of ghost gold crystals, right? This is a good thing. Otherwise, share it with me. Bring it to you. As you said, there must be a spirit of dedication and sharing. Oh. And your magic robe, should it be of the demigod level? Take it easy with me and share. Fang Fan strode forward with a sarcastic look on his face, and then said indifferently. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, had a complicated expression on his face. At this moment, he couldn't help but scan his surroundings. Damn! How dare you tease him in public? Snort. If Guangming Academy can share artifacts and bones, it's not that I can't share this little thing of mine. Chen Tianwei gritted his teeth, his eyes showed excitement. So many people said that Fang Fan got the artifact in the True God Cave, so it should be true. Artifact, that is an artifact. How comfortable it must be to hold the artifact in your hand. If one can comprehend a little bit of the law of divinity in the divine weapon, then, wouldn't that mean directly breaking through to the demigod realm? Gradually leaning closer to the realm of God. Holding an artifact in your hand, you are invincible in the world. With an opportunity like this right in front of you, why hesitate? Unleash all the combat power around you. Immediately the mentality unfolded in full swing. Excited. And surging. Good feeling. Oh. Then please give me the Pixio Jade pendant and demigod robe first, Dean Chen Tianwei. Then if I have the divine artifact bone, I can naturally share it with you. Fang Fan nodded, then smiled. Disciple. The Uncle G on the side is in a hurry. If we have the artifacts and bones, what are we going to do in exchange for those scraps of iron? Fang Fan smiled slightly, and gave Tai Shiji a reassuring look. Tai Shiji licked his lips, then stepped back. No matter what, he still believed in his precious apprentice. This kid has never suffered a disadvantage. Do you have to make fun of the dean? There are so many people present, why don't you ask them for treasures? It just happened to focus on the dean. Chen Tianwei, the dean of Black and White College, looked a little upset with a cold face. His Pixio Jade pendant and demigod robe are extremely precious treasures. Even with his status, it is extremely difficult to obtain. Oh. So it seems that Dean Chen Tianwei is unwilling to share. Then it's over. Co-authoring this moral kidnapping is only limited to other people? Are you a special case? If that's the case, please take back those bullshit words just now. I sound disgusting. If you can't do it yourself, why do you need to ask others to do so? Hey, I feel sad for you. You're like a capricious old dog. Tisk. Fang Fan is already in a state of rampage at this moment. If you don't break, you don't stand, you just want to make some noise. To bluntly call Chen Tianwei an old dog, this is the source of the impulse and the beginning of the momentum. You. Presumptuous. How dare you speak so boldly? Hateful. Hateful. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, is furious. As he was talking at the moment, his eyes were full of murderous intent, as if he wanted to rush over. Take advantage of this opportunity to grab this brat and force him to hand over the storage ring. The treasure is all mine. Good on. Chen Tianwei rolled his eyeballs, thinking about this, and then he walked faster. Hee. What is Dean Chen going to do? Could it be possible to commit murder in front of the deputy palace master? How? President Chen's hands are itchy. A cold snort came, and Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy, strode over with a proud attitude. He frightened Chen Tianwei directly with a strong posture. Things have come to this, still want to die. Nothing. There is no order of magnitude between the two. Chen Tianwei gritted his teeth, in his heart he wanted to continue to charge, but in the end he still gritted his teeth and held back. He knows exactly what his own strength is. Going up here is to die. It is still very necessary to be careful. So, you are not going to share it? Then go back. Even if I have an artifact, what can I say to a person like you? Since we don't talk about sharing and devotion, let's forget about it, and that's it. Fang Fan waved his hand and said calmly. At this moment, all eyes were focused on Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, and his expression gradually became extremely complicated. A few words are already unclear at this moment. Their respective postures are particularly real. Damn it! What does Chen Tianwei mean by this? I have nothing to say about dedication and sharing, now. It's alright now, it's captured by that Fang Fan, and now he can't share his artifact or bone. Damn it, you son of a bitch, how can there be such a stupid person? Convinced, really convinced. Garbage. Dog thing, grass. Piss off. Bring it to you. Damn, you pretended to be forceful, do you want to admit it now? Is it possible? Let's quickly offer all the treasures with both hands. Save the treasure. Old dog Chen. Why are you silent? Chen Tianwei. Don't be so ignorant. One grain of mouse droppings ruined a pot of porridge. Otherwise, let's go together, hammer this Chen Tianwei first, and then talk about other things. The surrounding discussion sounded more and more. Slowly, more and more outrageous. This situation is also in a complete collapse. Good guy, what a good guy. Now this Chen Tianwei has become the target of public criticism. The tide of public opinion is changing suddenly. A bunch of idiots. Madness. This is Fang Fan's conspiracy. Chen Tianwei gritted his teeth, and cursed secretly in his heart. Naturally he felt particularly upset in his heart. But what about being unhappy? The overall situation, collapsed, is nothing. If you can't stabilize your mentality, everything will collapse. Being the target of public criticism doesn't feel so good. If he is rejected by everyone, then this artifact, the divine bone, has nothing to do with him. Chen Tianwei rolled his eyes, and his breathing gradually became rapid. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3416. At critical times, you can give up everything. What is a demigod-level robe and a jade pendant in front of the divine artifact? I give. I gave. Chen Tianwei roared, and then said firmly. Immediately, he took off his magic robe in public, took off the Pixio jade pendant and threw it at Fang Fan. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, with a smile on his face. Good guy. It's a good deal. President Chen shared the resources with me. I didn't force it. Don't regret it then. Fang Fan shrugged, then confirmed again. Humph. This is natural. This dean is not shameless to that extent. Hurry up. Take out all the artifacts and bones. Take them out and share them. Bring them. Chen Tianwei licked his lips, his breathing gradually became extremely rapid, and his gaze gradually became sharper. Yes. Is such that. Quick. Take out the artifact. That's Master Ben's artifact. Bloodborne He, the master of the Dark Academy, couldn't find an opportunity, so he rushed over excitedly at this moment, ready to do something. That's a lot of fun. If you do this for a while, the next thing can be done slowly. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, with a sneer on his face. Oh. This is my storage ring, if you like it, feel free to share it. Hmm. There are still a few holy artifacts inside, and some star cores. Well, take whatever you want, don't be shy. Fang Fan stretched, and then threw out all the storage rings on his body. Of course, the real treasures have basically been taken away. What is taken out now is also some garbage. Before leaving the True God Cave, Fang Fan had already made a comprehensive plan. Even the bones of Bai Biao and Chu Sisi were collected in the small world of Shushan Pavilion in advance. In order to prevent the current situation. Well, now, the situation is slowly opening up. From a comprehensive point of view, it is more in line with the current actual situation. Just take it. Good guy. Is it so beautiful? There is no artifact in here. There is no divine bone either. Fang Fan. Where did you get my artifact and bones? Hand over the artifact, the bone. After He couldn't take a closer look, his complexion instantly became extremely ugly. As he spoke, his lips trembled uncontrollably, and there was infinite killing intent in his eyes. Damn it! It's all damn it! Can't wait to cut directly. This time I really can't bear it. Terrible. Extreme asshole. No. Where is the rumored artifact? You fool me. Chen Tianwei, the dean of Black and White College, had a cold face, his eyes were full of murderous intent. When did I say that I have a divine weapon? Isn't this all your speculation about me? That's it? Aren't you thinking a little too much? Tisk. Things that don't exist, can't be realized. Fang Fan shrugged and said calmly. No. Not right. At that time in the Disaster God's underground palace, the mysterious voice was announced. You just have an artifact. Yes. That's right. You're hiding. You must be hiding. That's my artifact. Give it back to me. He could not grit his teeth, and roared excitedly. Oh. Since you said it was your artifact, what did you say it looked like? I can find it for you. Fang Fan smiled and shrugged. He couldn't. What does this make him say? Is it just a wave of lore? He can't tell. If it could be said, it wouldn't be like this. This mentality is still a bit unbearable. At this moment, he was gasping for breath, his face looked very ugly. I do not remember. When I got the artifact, you took it away. Right, that is it. You must have an artifact. Let me search you. I want to search. That's Master Ben's artifact. He couldn't continue to howl, and Chen Tianwei, the dean of Hai College, was about to go mad with anger. He paid for the precious Pixio Jade pendant and the demigod level robe, and what he got was these scraps of iron. Search. What do you think you are? Are you qualified to search my apprentice? Roll. Otherwise I will beat you to death. Uncle G stood up directly, and then said coldly, directly protecting him with a strong posture. Guilty. This is the performance of a guilty conscience. If it's not tricky, why don't you dare to let young master search you? Humph. The artifact and bone must be on your body. Otherwise it's on those companions of yours. It must be so. Search them all. He couldn't always believe this, with a proud face. The surrounding noises also gradually increased. According to the current form, it can't be solved casually. The situation is critical. Practitioners from all universities and colleges want to come to share a piece of the pie. If they are not allowed to get what they want, I am afraid they will really attack them together. Although the combat power of Guangming Academy is not bad, it is hard to beat four hands with two fists. Right now, you need to hold on. By the way, punish some sand sculptures. Fang Fan stared coldly at Heifu, who kept shouting in the distance, and then strode out. It's not impossible to search my storage ring. Including all the storage rings on my companion, you can search. But there is one thing, you need to take some bets. Otherwise, I will be searched for no reason. What's the face of my Guangming Academy? Fang Fan smiled indifferently, and had already begun to make clever arrangements. Bet. What bet? Master Ben is afraid of you. He. Just let me search the storage ring. This young master firmly believes that artifacts and bones exist. Because, those originally belonged to this young master. He couldn't continue to say shamelessly, people are shameless and invincible. Sometimes I really admire this kind of person. Anyway, they are awesome. In terms of attitude, she was so proud that she burst. A wave of bells and whistles. Gamble your life. If I find the so-called sacred artifact, I will kill myself here or be killed. If you can't find it, I can kill you at will. How about it? Is it exciting enough? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, then smiled indifferently. Gambling for life. Good on. He couldn't help but trembled slightly, his breathing became more rapid, and his eyes turned subconsciously. This is so exciting. Good guy, this is a dick. Physical and mental tremors. If the bet is not appropriate, this life will really be gone. Hei Fu couldn't seem to be a little low-key at this moment, and all the previous arrogance disappeared. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3417. Scared now, really scared. Because Fang Fan was too confident. This kind of confidence caused a sense of panic in his heart. He subconsciously stepped back, his lips twitched unnaturally, his eyes gradually became erratic, and his complexion gradually became extremely ugly. Mentally, I can't help but. It's just hard. What if this Fang Fan really doesn't have a magic weapon, if he can't search it, wouldn't it be over? He dare not bet. In other words, he is greedy for life and afraid of death. If you don't dare, forget it. Then I'm leaving first, and I will keep in touch in the future. Fang Fan shrugged, with a casual look on his face. Nothing. No. No. You can't go. Absolutely not. The matter has not been resolved. Can't go. There must be a divine tool, and there must be a divine bone. It's mine. It's all mine. No one can compete with this young master. He couldn't breathe quickly, and the gesture of gnashing his teeth was vividly displayed. This gesture completely exploded. Oh. Is it? Who do you think you are? Since you don't have absolute certainty, and you don't dare to gamble with your life, why don't you go away? How can I have so much time to accompany you here to do these things? My time is precious. Fang Fan yawned and said indifferently. Are you sure? Wang, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, glared at Hei Fu, looking very dissatisfied at the moment. Things got a little off track. This matter is getting more and more complicated. What's next? So far there is no truth. Too much trouble. Of course I'm sure. This sacred bone weapon is not on him, but on the guards beside him. It is definitely like this. I will never make a mistake. He couldn't move his lips, and his eyes kept trembling. Since you are fully confident, you can gamble your life, so what is there to be afraid of? Wang, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, looked at He with disdain, unable to speak. The palace master actually wants to train this guy as his successor. Can such a guy who lacks morality and is greedy for life and fears death be his successor? Speaking of which, isn't it just trash? I won't say anything else, I feel irritated just looking at it like this. Anyway, it feels like this. That's a gamble. Can you say that you are not afraid if you are not afraid? If you're not afraid, go gamble with your life. He couldn't help but yelled impatiently. Wang, Baffling. Bai Piao, who was standing by the side, couldn't help laughing out loud. Oh shit. This is too funny. If you don't have the guts, you give way, and if you have the guts, you risk your life. You haven't got an answer until now. What do you mean? Why the hell are you more ink-stained than girls? Even if a girl encounters this kind of thing, there should be a result. You frankly were physically castrated in the previous battle, right? So that made you who you are now. Can you give me an accurate word? Bet or not? If you don't bet, get out. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and when he spoke, he was extremely vicious. While talking, he couldn't help but complain all over. After all, isn't that what it looks like? It's more fun to watch. Asshole. How dare you speak to Master Ben like that? He couldn't grit his teeth, his face showed dissatisfaction. When he stepped out, he saw the Uncle G who was about to try. Whenever he makes any moves, Grand Uncle G will probably slap him to death. At this moment, there were bursts of sighs from the surroundings, basically complaining about his rubbish. Now he is still the target of public criticism. Just this picture, it's real. Grass. Labor and capital have gambled. Oh shit. Labor and management are afraid of a hammer. The artifacts and bones must be on your body. Check. Must check. Fang Fan. I'm going to kill you this time. Hee hee. I was almost fooled by you. If you really don't have those things, wouldn't it be better to be frank? As for making this up, if you still have to negotiate conditions at this time, it can show your guilty conscience. Ah. If you look at it this way, there is something tricky about you. It was me before, I was careless. But this time, I will make you pay the price. It's absolutely impossible to use this trick to trick me. It is absolutely impossible for me to be deceived by you. Fang Fan. Your time of death has arrived. Wait until you take away the divine weapon and bone in your hand, and your fate will come to an end. You will definitely die. An excited roar followed, and Heifu's body trembled violently. While talking, the black lines on his forehead gathered all over the place, and his teeth chattered violently. Anyway, the state of mind at the moment is very erratic. Everyone, be a witness. Let's sign a God's contract. Whoever violates it will be spurned by the true God. He will be killed by the true God. And plus their respective schools. I'll come first. Gods above all, if we voluntarily sign the contract with the gods, if we find the divine bones and artifacts on me and the guards, I will voluntarily kill myself on the spot. If I violate the contract, both humans and gods will abandon it. The Guangming Academy where I belong will definitely suffering from the disaster of 9 thunderbolts. Fang Fan looked calm, and opened the god's contract casually. Hee hee. You still want to use this routine? Think I dare not sign the contract of God? Tisk, young, really too young. You don't really think so, do you? Ridiculous, so ridiculous. The contract of a mere God is nothing. I can't be frank and frank, the contract of God is never afraid. Gods above, I can't voluntarily sign the contract of God. If I don't find the divine bone artifact, I will voluntarily commit suicide on the spot. If I violate the contract, both humans and gods will abandon it. The Dark Academy I belong to will definitely suffer 9 thunders, the ultimate disaster. A trace of the power of the true God is wandering in the air, and the contract of the God has been officially signed. The true God is above. If you want to violate the contract of God, you will have to pay a huge price. Of course, these are nothing to Fang Fan at all, and he never cared about these so-called God's contracts at all. Ding. The system has detected foreign object intrusion. Ding. The antivirus system is starting. Ding. The cleaning was successful. As far as the system is concerned, the power of the true God contained in the contract of God is actually a different kind of virus. As soon as it entered Fang Fan's body, it was directly screened out, and what was waiting for it after that was naturally completely obliterated. Speaking of which, Fang Fan's favorite thing to do is to sign this so-called God's contract. Disciple. If you have any unspeakable secrets, just blink your eyes, even if you risk your life as a teacher, I will send you out. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3418. Uncle G felt a little bitter for no reason. At this moment, he took a breath, and his lips twitched slightly. In fact, he believed that his apprentice had obtained the divine weapon and bone. He is so handsome. Even a true god like the god of Dur can be accepted as his god slave, even a true god like the goddess Starry Night can be defiled, what else can he not do? Grand Uncle G has already made plans to protect Fang Fan's safety with his death. Master. Don't worry. It's all right. My heart is magnanimous, afraid of what these villains are doing. If you haven't done something, you haven't done it. Is it possible that you can force me to say that you have done it? Heh, isn't this a joke? Fang Fan shrugged, and while talking, the cold expression on his face became more and more. If you don't even have this bit of self-confidence, isn't it really blind? Everything has been prepared in advance. The dean wants to check it himself. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, strode forward, his teeth itching with hatred at this moment. Fang Fan snatched his Pixio Jade pendant and demigod-level magic robe, and he was resentful in his heart. The deputy palace master also needs to check it himself. Take out all the storage rings. Wanggu, deputy head of the dark school, narrowed his eyes and walked over, with a dangerous aura leaking from his whole body. Hey, I'll just be a witness, you play your game, I'll join in the fun. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, stepped forward, obviously wanting to get a piece of the action. Needless to say, the other major academies all stared wide-eyed, searching for the trace of the artifact. They feel that as long as they find the artifact, they will take off directly. Maybe by relying on this artifact, he can advance by leaps and bounds and ascend to the god realm. Artifacts, that is what the true gods have used. No problem. Galen, take out all the storage rings. The number may be a little too much. Fang Fan yawned, then said calmly. Immediately, Galen led the crowd over, each holding a huge cloth bag in their hands. When the opening of the cloth bag was untied, the clattering storage ring kept falling out. There must be several thousand storage rings in this bag. There are about 18 or 19 bags, and there are almost 100,000 storage rings. This is very mysterious. Invisibly, a sense of treachery swept across the board. The more you look, the more numb your claws become. How could there be so many? Where do you get so many storage rings? Are you playing us on purpose? Fang Fan. Are you starting to feel guilty now? How? The reason why so many storage rings are created is that we can't finish our investigation. Heifulu snorted coldly, and said with a look of disdain. Didn't you say you want to investigate thoroughly? Is there anything wrong with taking out all the storage rings? Furthermore, these storage rings were also donated by friends from various colleges and universities on their own initiative. You said, can I not take it? Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. Tens of thousands of storage rings are tens of thousands of dead souls. Fang Fan, how many students from various universities and colleges died at your hands? Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, said with a gloomy face. That's all you've seen. Oh, by the way, the students of your Black and White Academy are the most polite. If you insist on hanging around me, I probably killed 20,000 to 30,000 yuan. Why? Then they donated so many storage rings to me. What can I do? You are so polite, can I still throw it all away? Fang Fan spread his hands, and then expressed his helplessness. Chen Tianwei. Feel offended? Are you so polite? Hateful. Damn. Check. Check carefully. As long as it is hidden in it, it will definitely be found. Humph. It's absolutely impossible to rely on this method to get away with it. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, gritted his teeth, and then said angrily from the side, his eyes became more and more crazy as he spoke. A full investigation has begun. Hundreds of thousands of storage rings, even with the consciousness of a demigod, it is not so easy to find out. At this moment, the scene looks amazing. 1 hour. 2 hours. 3 hours. Anyway, just spend it there. AHH. Hurry up, please. I'm sleepy. Why? The work speed is too slow. Bai Piao smashed his mouth, and then sighed from the side. That's it, nothing. I can't feel the other things that are there or not. Just, very upset. The rest are nothing. Mentally, it can still collapse more or less. No. Nothing at all. Everything has been checked. The face of Wanggu, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, turned black into the bottom of the pot. Gritting his teeth at this moment, his expression gradually became extremely ferocious. Hateful. Damn it. How can you do this? How could it become like this? Didn't you say that it is foolproof? Surely there will be. Wanggu looked at He with a hoarse voice, unable to speak. How do I know? Sure, it must be hidden in some corner. My perception can never be wrong. My divine weapon. Where is my divine bone? It's mine. It's all mine. No one is qualified to rob me. Anyone who dares to rob me, I will abolish him. Ah. My head. It hurts. Damn. Damn. Haofu's eyes were bloodshot. At this moment, one side of the teeth was rubbing up and down slightly, the body was trembling back and forth unnaturally, and the mentality exploded. Grass. Play chicken. Nothing. Damn thing. It's all dog stuff. After wasting so much time and gaining nothing, one can imagine how irritable this mood is. He couldn't shake his hand, ready to stride away. Etc. Some things haven't been done. Just now, the god's contract has been signed. If you don't find the divine artifact, you should kill yourself on the spot, or I'll help you and cut you off directly. Fang Fang raised the corners of his mouth slightly, and while talking, the cold expression on his face became more and more. At this moment, some attitudes have already been shown. As for the other ones that are not there, they are really not that necessary. Be calm in your mind, and you will have everything. You, what are you doing? What god's contract? I don't know. Humph. Don't think I don't know, the divine weapon and bone are on your body. Don't try to get away with it. Let me go first. Let's talk about the future. Fang Fan. It's absolutely impossible to let this matter go. After I tell the ancestor, you just wait. Hee, by then, you will definitely die. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3419. Black couldn't fight back. Still going on. This is very interesting. Fang Fan didn't bother with him at all. In Fang Fan's eyes, this guy is dead. What is there to say to the dead? Fang Fan raised the Zhantian sword in his hand, and then borrowed the combat power of the Rage God servant God Luahu, and his combat power instantly rose to the 8-star peak sanctuary realm. Zhan Tianjian unsheathed. Falling from the sky. Click. The big head fell to the ground in an instant. Puff. Warm blood spattered all around, Fang Fan dodged in time. The audience fell into a momentary silence. Just, beheaded like this? He couldn't help his eyes widen. Although he had lost his vitality at this moment, he still seemed to be questioning him comprehensively. Why? Why did it become like this? What's wrong? Hateful. Damn it. Has this life been completely ended like this? He is unwilling. Not reconciled. After a brief silence, the surrounding noise suddenly increased. Immediately, it swept across the board. The noise continued, and I felt strange for no reason. Just kill like that. I'll go, kill decisively. This Fang Fan is a bit strong. As expected of the boss Fang Fan. Damn, he didn't blink at all, he didn't drag his feet, he was smooth and casual. This doesn't seem to have anything to do with me, does it? Why do I feel so excited? Am I sick? Hee, it's a normal situation, and I can't say I'm sick. Anyway, I'm getting more and more incomprehensible now. Hush, take it easy, don't be too careless. I feel like a large-scale battle is about to break out. I feel the same way. This black man is also the descendant of the master of the Dark School. It is said that he has an unusual status in the Dark School. The master of the Dark School seems to intend to treat him as the heir to cultivate. This is dead now, I'm afraid it can't be good. Let's stop worrying so much about it, just be a melon-eating crowd in peace and stability, don't keep busy following the trend on this matter, there is really no need for it, remember, this shit has nothing to do with us, it doesn't matter. I think so too, anyway, just hold on, let's not talk about the others, it doesn't matter. The discussion was ups and downs. It was really lively. Wanggu, deputy head of the Dark Academy, looked at the head on the ground, his eyes turned from dull to crazy. Died. Now it is certain that he is really dead. The death of He cannot but be scary, what is scary is the palace master standing behind him. Although this black man is useless, he is the blood of the palace master after all. Although from Wanggu's point of view, he is not qualified to be the successor of the Dark School, but the palace master values this trash. It doesn't matter if a piece of trash dies. The death of a waste that the palace master valued is a big problem. Are you courting death? Die. Wanggu's combat power exploded in an instant, he focused on Fang Fan, and launched an attack suddenly. He wants to kill Fang Fan in an instant. Only in this way can we give the palace master an explanation. Snort. Deputy Palace Master Wang. You are too arrogant. In front of my face, you dare to hurt my students from Guangming Academy. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, stood aside for a long time, and finally spoke at this moment. He was always watching Fang Fan's every move, for fear that someone would come and attack him. That's why we can stand up and resist in the first place. Shui Wanren. Get out of the way. He couldn't kill He. He killed the blood of the palace master. He must pay with his life. Otherwise, none of you will be able to afford it if our master of the Dark Academy pursues it. Wanggu, the deputy head of the Dark Academy, gritted his teeth, and the combat power around him exploded, his expression gradually became vicious. It's time like this, what else is there to say? Death can obliterate everything. Didn't he commit suicide? The God's contract has been signed, what? Do you want to go against the will of the true God? It's clearly written in the God's contract. If he can't find the divine artifact, he will kill himself. If he doesn't want to kill himself, I can kill him directly. This has been witnessed by the true God. I carry out the will of the true God. Is there any problem? Fang Fan shrugged, then said indifferently. In terms of attitude, that is called a success. Anyway, it's a showdown. Asshole. Excessive words. Wang, deputy head of the Dark Academy, had a gloomy face, and couldn't find any words to refute at this moment. It's embarrassing anyway. If you can't afford to lose, don't make a god's contract in the first place. Since it has been established, it must be followed. Anyway, he is also the vice master of the Dark School. Is this the pattern? Fang Fan shrugged, then of course shrugged. At this moment, it is necessary to appear a little erratic, so that it will be more oppressive. At this moment, in a few words, it seems very real. I support Big Boss Fang Fan this time. Hey, they just did what was agreed in the God's contract, and it seems that they didn't do anything wrong. Actually speaking, it's because the Dark Academy didn't take any responsibility. They signed the contract of God, but they don't want to follow it. Hey, the Dark School is getting worse and worse now. Isn't this just reneging on promises and gaining weight? Hee, anyway, I feel pretty rubbish. It's not terrible to lose, the terrible thing is that you can't afford to lose. The vice master of the Dark School seems to want to bully the small with the big, and then bully the weak. So many of us watched his show. The reputation of the Dark School is rotten. By all means, this is the state at the moment. Wang, deputy head of the Dark Academy, gritted his molars, and he swallowed strands of blood into his throat. The smell of blood hung in his throat, making him a little more awake. He knew very well that there was only one chance to kill Fang Fan in public. If you miss it, you will miss it. If you continue to launch an assault, it will seem a bit difficult, and it is also very stupid. Snort. It's not that my Dark School can't afford to lose, but your behavior is too contemptuous of my Dark School. Just now, if Ryuahei couldn't refuse to execute the contract of God, I would naturally execute him, and it's not your turn to deal with the students of my Dark Academy. This Liangzi, our Dark School will remember. Boy, do it yourself. Breathe more fresh air around you. After a few more days, you won't be able to breathe again. Wang's expression gradually became distorted, and his words were very threatening. Fang Fan stood where he was, with an expression of indifference. What are you talking about? I see you just keep on acting. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3420. Wang made a fool of himself, then gritted his teeth and left. It was finally not so noisy. Master, Deputy Palace Master, it's time to go back. After so many days of talking outside, I'm tired. Fang Fan yawned, looking rather weak at the moment. In fact, the so-called Guangming Academy is the biggest winner of this trip to the True God Cave. Well, correspondingly, Fang Fan gained a lot. Although it cost 2 million high-grade star cores to bid for the Saint Venerable Thunder Tribulation exemption card in the auction system, in general, 2 middle-level saints have been cultivated. Fang Fan has an extra keel whale in the mid-level holy state. In addition, Chu Sisi will definitely be a great help in the future. Hee. Walk. After so many days of delay, the Guangming God City built on the territory of God's land may have been built. At that time, you will all be able to live in it directly, and practice on the sacred soil. It will be extremely fast. The time has come for my Guangming Academy to explode. A world of great contention. All the luck of the world belongs to my Guangming Academy. Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, took a deep breath, his face gradually turned flushed, and he couldn't help licking his lips while talking. The eyes were full of brilliance, and his posture was also full of bursts. Feeling so exhilarated. So real. What a surge. How excited. Shui Wanren glanced at Fang Fan first, and then shifted to Chu Ceci, with a satisfied expression on his face. Needless to say, Fang Fan, this guy has been a monstrosity all his life, and he often does extraordinary things. Although his cultivation base is not high, his combat power is frighteningly high. As for Chu Ceci, she is still her niece, and she has benefited a lot from the True God Cave at the moment. If it weren't for this, how could she have been promoted to several levels of cultivation as soon as she left the True God Cave, and finally survived the Holy Thunder? Calamity, and even directly promoted to the middle-level Saint realm. The middle-level Saint can even be rated as a special tutor in the Guangming Academy. And Chu Ceci is just a student. The future is limitless. The rest of the people are also in good spirits. From all aspects, this is a vigorous trend. In my heart, I will slowly feel happy and satisfied. My apprentice. Not one bad. Uncle Ji waved his hand and said proudly. At this moment, everyone in Guangming Academy gathered together and prepared to leave together. Cough. Everyone, wait a moment. Fang Fan. Since you don't have any artifacts or bones to share with you, you'd better return the Pixie Jade Pendant and the demigod level robes that I shared with you first. I didn't get anything. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, gritted his teeth, and then said firmly. After making such a fuss for so long, there was nothing, so why did I feel particularly uncomfortable in my heart? Especially at a time like this, shouldn't it be necessary to get back the treasures that belong to him? I can't get the treasure, so I won't have to post it. Go back. I said before that it is for sharing and dedication. Tisk, I remember that it seemed that Dean Chen Tianwei specifically proposed it at the beginning. By the way, I also shared so many storage rings with you, didn't you see? How? Now is this going to slap yourself in the face? Isn't that a little bad? Since it's already been shared, why do you have the nerve to ask for it back? Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. Bring it you. This guy didn't have any good intentions from the beginning. For such a person, there is no need for any mercy at all. If you can, you can. No psychological pressure. You, what do you mean? Are you trying to forcibly occupy the treasure of the dean? I advise you to think clearly. In this matter, you have no choice. Humph. You should know the consequences of offending the dean. Chen Tianwei, the dean of the Black and White Academy, changed his face, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help twitching, and the vicious look on his face also increased. Isn't this just to focus on face slapping? Can this be tolerated? The mentality has already exploded directly. At this moment, we must fight to the end. As a result of what consequences? Why do I have to return the Pixie Jade Pendant and the demigod level robe that I obtained by my own ability? The consequence you said is nothing more than wanting to kill me. Tisk, do you dare to say it? Deputy Palace Master, what if someone wants to kill me? Could it be that Guangming Academy just watched its outstanding students die on the spot? Fang Fan shrugged, and then looked at Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy. There was no expression on Shui Wanren's face. This kid never stopped. Anyway, unless something happens, this kid will never give up. On and on, just here and there. Wang Beizi. Nothing. If anyone dares to show such signs, I, Shui Wanren, will cut him alive on the spot. Students of my Guangming Academy, who dares to move? Shui Wanren snorted coldly, and a powerful momentum swept over him. Basically, what I want to say is clearly expressed. Chen Tianwei's expression changed. If there is a fight, he really is not an opponent. This shit was killed in minutes. This mentality can't be broken. The situation is not very clear. What do you mean by that? Why can't I get my own treasure back? Is it possible that your Guangming Academy is still doing this, robber? Isn't your Guangming Academy afraid of everyone's ridicule? Asshole! The posture of gnashing teeth was fully displayed, and Chen Tianwei's gaze gradually became fierce. At this moment, the posture was displayed, as if he wanted to directly suppress it. Such a gesture is surging to the extreme. Shame. Where is the shame? Are you thinking too much, Your Excellency? Didn't you voluntarily share this Pixio Jade pendant and demigod robe with me? Then this is mine. I want to regret it. Isn't it too late now? It's self-inflicted? Can you blame me? Well. Speaking of which, I would like to thank Your Excellency for your generosity. Fang Fan smiled, and the smile on his face grew more and more. Every time Fang Fan said a word, Chen Tianwei's complexion became darker. Your bright academy has completely offended the Dark Academy. Snort. Should we also add my opponent from the Black and White Academy? Can your Guangming Academy really bear it? Hee hee. I hope you will think twice before acting. If something goes wrong, it's really not pretty. Chen Tianwei, the Dean of the Black and White Academy, directly released a big move. This is the ultimate coercion.